So this is our shooting gallery. Now you've got to be over the age of 12. You've got to be deemed to be suitable. Must have photographic ID, and you've got to fill out a declaration form. You choose your package, you come down here, and then we take you through the shooting gallery. It's a 50-metre long gallery. We have the target set up to about 21 metres. This is a Czech CZ22. This is a good lead-in rifle that we get a lot of people to shoot in those two packages, and that gives them that ability to be able to test and adjust their position. Then we need to make sure that they've got good sight alignment. This is the Tian, so this is the .223 pump action rifle, made and designed here in Australia. Kids and the ladies, if they've never fired before and they don't want a massive amount of recoil, this is what we call our fun gun. Great little weapon to fire. The next rifle that we've got is the 6.5 Carcano. It still has a little bit of recoil, but not as much as some of the other larger calibers. This has a clip which slides in, and then once you're finished firing, the clip actually falls out of the bottom here. This is the French Mass 36. So originally a 7.5mm caliber, but this one has been rechambered for 308. It's got a 5-round internal mag as well. It works a lot easier just using the palm because of the angle of that bolt. If you grab it like a conventional bolt, when you come up, you can wrap your knuckles along the sight. So I just use my palm and it works quite easily for this rifle. Peep sight on the back, very chunky front foresight. It's a nice little rifle to hold, and it does give you a little bit of a boot being 308, but for use within this gallery, I find looking through this sight, very similar to the 303, very easy to use. Moving along, still in service today, the 7.62 Russian Mosin-Nagant. Now, if you believe the figures, there's about 37 million of these made. 7.62, and it has a really interesting shape of the rim, very long rifle, and this one actually does recoil a fair bit. The sighting system, very easy to use, your open leaf sight, coupled together with a very high front foresight. As long as that front foresight is looking at the target, you're going to hit 9s and 10s forever and a day with this rifle. And next, it's classic Springfield 3006. So this rifle's been around a fair while. It's the old 30 caliber round, so 7.62, with the design of newer gunpowder at the time. The 308 compared to the 3006 round is very similar with the muzzle velocity that comes out of the two rifles. Used in World War I, World War II, and I think it sort of went out of some countries in the 1970s. Nice big caliber round, gives you a little bit of boot. Has a graduating rear sight. They said that the range that it can shoot at was a little bit over-exaggerated, out to about just over 4,000 metres. But essentially you could fire this accurately out to about 1,600 metres. The classic World War II British 303 short magazine Lee-Enfield. So this is the number 4. So this muzzle is a little bit longer. When you look at the number 1 Mark III, it's a lot shorter, sort of stops at that front foresight. And the sighting system was also different. We go from having a leaf sight on the back to a circle aperture, the peep sight. So this allows you to flip it up and down 1 to 300 yards or up to 600 yards. And again, when you're looking through there, similar to the Mass 36, as long as that front foresight sits right in the centre of your field of view, this one will shoot out to easily 2 kilometres. This is the 30-30 lever action. Even though it's a nice light rifle, fairly decent sized cartridge. The diameter 30-30 I think comes in at about 7.8mm in diameter. Essentially you want your 3 fingers inside the lever it all the way down till it stops, and then you sort of come all the way back up to chamber that round. Has a 5-round internal magazine. Now if we look at the shape of the actual nose of the projectile, it's sort of blunted or rounded. Because we load these rounds in through here, one behind the other, having a blunt round prevents essentially that hitting on the primer and setting the round off. Lucky last, everybody's, yeah, definitely a favourite gun in the museum. So this is our K98, so this is your 7.92 German Mauser. 5-round internal magazine. This has a lot more recoil, even though it's just a slightly bigger projectile. 7.92 and 303. Very similar, just a slightly longer projectile. Now the only problem with if you're a left-hander, when you open up the bolt, pull it back, it's a nice sharp little bit just here, and it'll generally take a chunk of skin off your thumb. So it's a trick for young players. If you're doing it left-handed, use the overhand grip and just do it that way. It's a lot easier and you still got control of the rifle. It's a graduated sight, so the further we go out, the more we want to raise that front sight up. So we're sort of raising the angle of the front of the rifle. And this again will shoot out to about 2 kilometres.
Which one's got the most kick, Jace?
Oh, the Mauser comes close to being the one with the most amount of kick. So when we look at the line, when we fire, it's only got that little narrow depression there. So you got a lot of energy come through that area. Where if you look at, say, maybe the 303, you have a nice drop down here. So as it fires, a lot of the energy you can release out of there. So the 303 is what I call a smooth recoil compared to, say, the Mauser. The shooting gallery is open from 9:30 till 3 o'clock every day, 7 days a week. When you come in down here, all the rifles are tethered. So it is a very safe environment. Depending on your level of experience, we're standing right there and we coach you through. There's a lot to firearm shooting. You know, can go into breathing techniques and all that sort of stuff as well, but we want the people to have that very good, safe experience.